Willie D Live.
Glad you mentioned that media because they did have a hand in it. All of them. All of them. Not one of them was innocent. Not one of them don't have blood on their hands because, you know, when it happened, first of all, before it even happened to Pac, you know, it was like, okay, now Pac is dead. And so Big is standing. And then it was like, they just like put more fuel on the fire, and then when Biggie got hit, he's resting. They still
now it's a whole coastal war of nothing that has to do with rap or music or anything.
And then they started making articles talking about how this needs to stop and we need peace and da. But they threw those rocks, man, and they hit their hands, and they got blood on their hands. The media, they've always been doing that though. The mainstream media in particular, they've always had a hand in it. Yeah, that was a very
blow. A blow.
It's a very, very bad time, not just for hip hop, but for us as a people. It was a very bad time because I was thinking the whole time that when that happened, when I started trying to get in the game, it was like, I'm gonna get into the game so I can get away from the game.
Get out of the streets.
I'm saying? I need to
not
get
to
into
do it
this,
again.
You know, I'm gonna do this so I can get out of the streets and I can have a chance. And so what this tells our young people is that even if you make it, even if you become a big time celebrity,
you gotta go the nigga route.
You still might get gunned down like a dog in the streets.
And we the only art form where that happens.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah. So what is the answer though? Like I hear a lot of people say, yeah, you gotta just stop the music. You gotta get rid of the drill music. You gotta censor it. I mean, what's the answer? How do we quell these type of conflicts in hip hop?
I mean, that's a great question. The answer is a lot harder. In our day, we used to have idols, and it wasn't politicians or too many people in the industry or anything, but we respected our hip hop legends that came before us. I would say the answer is having sit downs and summits and everything else with the younger artists and everything else. But as we all see, it's a different level of respect that they have for us than we had for our OGs that came before us. And we never, like, in our era, it was nobody that went and when Cube was going at NWA and da-da-da-da, it was so many, and it was a lot of artists that was boom. If anything, you meet up, because, you know, promoters wouldn't put you on the same tour, the same shows, but you meet up at summits like Jack the Rapper or anything else, and then you'll see one squad of homies and another squad of homies bang it out, like, fight. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, yo, when I'm really going to kill him. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, if we run into each other, we going to handle this. It's like, now you got, they actually out to kill each other, and they don't want to hear nothing. No, it's like the respect of who you respect is not the OGs. It's like, I'm making the rules up by myself. There are no rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you said, like when we came up, we was like on one of the biggest drug blocks in East Orange, New Jersey. But even before we got a label deal, we found out Flavor Unit wanted to sign us. Queen Latifah shot. We was like, yo, me, Vin, and K, like, we can't hustle no more. We got to decide whether we going to be in the streets or we going to be in this business. Because we can't do nothing to taint the Queen name. Like, we can't do both. We got to decide. it's like now, some artists is like the streets and the game is the same thing. Like you said, we did things to get out of the game, not to get in the game, to be in the game, to have the same circumstances of being in the game comes death or locked up, indictments or anything else. We was like, yo, I'll never sell a drug again unless I own a dispensary or a pharmacy. Before there was this, I'm like, yo, drugs, you see what we getting over here with this and anything that's going on right there, homies, let me let you know. Don't have nothing come back on me for what you doing or nothing. If you come on the road with me, if you this, that, and the other, yo, all that don't have no reflections of no dirty shit you doing over here come to me, or I'm getting sued, or I'm getting locked up, or I'm on film getting taped like, and it's something more than the music, because all I'm doing is this music and this film shit. I didn't come in here to give it all away. We got out. People know us. I do so much more stuff than the music, acting and this and modeling and blah, 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 blah. Man, I'm not fucking this up for nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned your hometown, your birthplace, East Orange, New Jersey. Y'all, East Orange is, if I'm not mistaken, the 17th most populous city in New Jersey.
Possible.
Y'all got like 70,000 people there. How do y'all come up out of there? How does Treach come out of such a small little dot on the map?
With a dream, and with knowing I'm not going to stay here, and starting off from, I wanted to be an athlete. You know what I mean? Boom, that ain't happened for me. Anything else? I never wanted to be poor. So while I was doing rapping and all the talent shows and everything else, I'm like, I'm going to have a job. So like I said, I was doing minimum wage until I had to lie about my age to get a job paying real money. I have to have work ethic, like to know to grind. You know what I mean? It came like down to the last resort. After my mom threw me out, I was homeless. I was living in the park. And it was like, no job, was no more warehouse job, $8 an hour. Wouldn't nobody hire me. Still going out, but I'm in the streets. No, I'm not going to be no bum. I'm not going to be in the shelter the rest of my life. I'm not going to be begging nobody for nothing. And homies I knew was hustling and was like, you want to get down, and boom, and I did. Not bragging on it, not saying that's the way to go or anything else, because there's so many more opportunities now. It wasn't like you could Google different things and find, like, it's jobs out there. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to my Latinas and immigrants that's coming over the border and everything else, and I don't care what nobody's saying. They come to work. They want jobs. We don't have no excuses. They here. You see so many of them open bodegas and everything else and sending money back home and all that that's been here for forever, since we've been here. It's a way where we could go and get stuff. It's no excuses. We still blaming slavery and everything else, yo. No. We see immigrants that come and they make a living and make businesses and do what they doing, and it's no excuses. So my mind state was like, I'm not going to be asking nobody for nothing. I'm not going to be begging. I'm going to do something for myself. It's that drive. You got to have work ethic. A lot of the youth, they have to get jobs first, and not even first, while they doing their dreams and living in the studio and everything else. Have a work ethic. You're going to know what it's like to really work and grind and work for your future.
Yeah, I think that a lot of us who want it, we know that we do have to have that work ethic, and we have that work ethic. We built this country, so we had a hell of a work ethic. You know,
we had.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now we feel like it's old.
Well, the thing is, some of us feel like it's old. But many of us, you got to. Yeah, see, I look at it like this: like, what they do is, they put our worst up as an example of who we are collectively. They put their best up as an example of who they are collectively. And this is why sometimes, you know, the truth kind of gets skewed, because if you really look at where we come from and where we are today. I'm not saying a few of us are the ones who are tripping and all. I'm talking about collectively, overall. I just don't think that there's too many people other than us who could have survived and continue to thrive and do what we've been able to do.
Not at all.
Most of us, we have way more successes than we have failures. And
they don't report that, or it's not out there, so you think it's like it's not happening, but it is.
Yeah. What they try to do is they'll use like great examples of success for us, like people that most people just ain't gonna have a shot at ever getting on that type of level, including them. They're not gonna be like no Beyonce, like Oprah, the Jay-Z's, and they're not gonna get to those type of levels. They're not gonna get to a level of a Robert Smith.
Stay in your lane.
Most people are not gonna get that. But what they do is, for us, when it come to our heroes, when it comes to people that we want to look up to, they try to give us these examples of people who are out in the stratosphere, who most people are not going to be like at all. But they overlook our doctors, our nurses, they overlook our educators, they overlook our motivational speakers, our factory workers who work the 9 to 5, maybe 30, 40 years, who ain't never been in no trouble with the law, raised 4 or 5 kids, all of them went to college, all of them got degrees, none of them been to jail, ain't no baby mamas, everybody married. They overlook all of those stories.
Yeah, definitely.
They overlook that. So a lot of times we are looking at the low-hanging fruit, and that's what we go for, and that's what get us, that's how a lot of us get in trouble, because we don't really understand and we don't really see those other examples that are a whole lot more reachable, more attainable than trying to go way up here. You can live a very, very good life doing some different stuff other than just being a musician or being an athlete. Because I know people who worked 9 to 5s or who have salary jobs, who got more, who sleep more comfortable financially than some of these celebrities do, because they live within their means and they got everything that they want. They got all the things that they need. Their bills are paid. The mortgage is straight. Rent, whatever they're paying, everything is straight. The kids are straight. They go on vacations. They go to casino if they feel like it. They got savings. They got property
they bought, investments, everying else.
They live good, man. They live.
They not going to report that.
But we have a lot more success stories than we have failures. But what they do is try to make us look down instead of up, and or even horizontal. That's what they do. But I got their ass. I know what they doing. I see what they doing, and they can't fool me. And this is why when I hear somebody saying something about, well, the immigrants come here and they do it and we ain't got no excuses. No, you're right. Like, I don't believe in excuses. I don't wear excuse shirts. But we cannot overlook that them people get a whole lot more shit than we ever get, and we built this country. They get reparations like they get. It's sad to call it reparations, but they getting our shit. Yeah. These people coming here, they giving them free health care, bro. They giving these people, immigrants who ain't done shit for this country.
We know this country wasn't built for. It wasn't built for us. After we built what we built, they start building on top of us to make it think like we didn't do none of that. They built over the history, built over that. Go to all our public schools we came up on. Black Wall Street, we ain't know shit about that. Just like you saying, all of the progress we done and everything we done, we know nothing about it. They always say if you don't know your past, you don't know your future. You don't know your own worth. When they keep telling you and showing you when you watch the news, you like, we worthless. Yeah. If you believe that and take that. They don't give us the blueprint of our royalty.